In this video, we're going to talk about academic integrity. You may remember as a kid defending a bad decision to an adult by saying, "But everyone else is doing it." Today, as a student, you may be tempted to again participate in questionable behavior because you see your classmates doing it. After all, if my classmates are doing it, why shouldn't I? Regardless of the reasons why you may be tempted to participate in questionable behavior or academic dishonesty, and there may be several, your integrity is an important part of who you are, and once you compromise that integrity, it is hard to get it back. As Madison Surratt, an academic and administrator from Vanderbilt University, once told his students, "Today I'm going to give you 2 examinations, one in trigonometry and one in honesty. I hope you will pass them both, but if you must fail, let it be trigonometry." So what constitutes academic dishonesty? Some examples of academic dishonesty are plagiarism. Plagiarism is the use of another's words, ideas, data, or a product without appropriate acknowledgement, such as copying another's work, presenting someone else's opinions and theories as one's own, or working jointly on a project and then submitting it as one's own. This can also mean using artificial intelligence to do the work for you. I'm going to take a second here and just pause to talk about why you must understand exactly what academic integrity is and how to avoid it, specifically with plagiarism. There are some cultures and nations where the concept of plagiarism is not the same as in here in the US. You may not have been exposed to or understand citing original sources, paraphrasing, or even the concept of academic integrity itself. Make sure you're taking the time to learn about the different aspects of academic integrity in your classes and understand everything they mean. Cheating is the use or attempted use of unauthorized materials, information, or study aids, or an act of deceit by which a student attempts to misrepresent academic skills or knowledge, unauthorized copying or collaboration. This too can include copying from artificial intelligence. Fabrication. Fabrication is intentional misrepresentation or invention of any information, such as falsifying research, inventing or exaggerating data, or listing incorrect or fictitious references. Collusion. Collusion is assisting another to commit an act of academic dishonesty. This could look like paying or bribing someone to acquire a test or assignment, taking a test or doing an assignment for someone else, or allowing someone to do these things. Although it's hard to say no when a friend is asking to copy your work, it's really important that you do say no. If you don't, you're just as responsible as the student that's copying. So why do students participate in academic dishonesty? Most students actually don't plan to. It's often a response to test anxiety, upcoming deadlines, or outside pressures. Realistically, it's likely that you will experience anxiety during at least one assessment or assignment, especially if it's a big exam. But it's important to understand that you can manage this experience. Because anxiety can lead to a fight or flight response and can sometimes cause us to feel the temptation to use resources that are not allowed, try the following techniques to conquer this feeling. Don't give in to the temptation. To avoid this fight or flight mode as much as possible, make sure you're keeping up with the coursework and not waiting until the last minute to complete assignments. As you're working through those assignments, try not to use resources you aren't allowed to use on an exam. For example, in a math class, don't rely on an app, website, or tutor that will do the steps for you. It may be beneficial to look at outside resources to help you learn the material, but ultimately, you should be able to do the work without help. Think about it this way. Believing that you've learned a concept by having an app do it for you is like believing you know how to play the piano by having an app practice playing a song for you. What's going to happen at your piano recital? Probably the same thing that will happen when you try to take your exam. More than likely, you'll realize in that moment that you don't know the material, and this will definitely lead to more anxiety. If you rely on an outside resource as a crutch during assessments, they may help you in the short term to get them done. but in the long term, they'll lead you with gaps in knowledge and actual understanding of the concepts. Some outside resources solve problems in ways that only a computer would do. More than likely, there are better ways that your instructor can give you guidance on. Remember, your instructor wants you to succeed, so reach out to them for resources they think can help you. But bottom line, whatever resource you use, just know you haven't mastered the concept until you can do the work on your own without help. Learning comes from the struggle. If you know something automatically, then you aren't learning. This means that struggling is okay. Having an app, website, person, etc. do the work for you won't help you actually learn and push through the struggle. You're much better off reviewing the resources already provided by your instructor. Ensure you ask your instructor questions when they come up and get help right away and fully prepare for any exam using the techniques we share in the How to Study for an Exam video. PCC has consequences for violating academic integrity policies, which can even include removal from a course or PCC altogether. Make sure you're aware of these repercussions by viewing PCC's Student Code of Conduct. Guidelines for academic integrity. Students assume full responsibility for the content and integrity of the coursework they submit. The following are guidelines to assist you in observing academic integrity. You must do your own work and submit only your own work on exams and assignments, unless otherwise permitted by the instructor. This means you should not use any outside resources unless permitted to. The work you turn in must be your own, not work that you copied from a tutor, website, classmate, etc. If your instructor allows you to work with others on an assignment, it's okay for you to brainstorm and work through the assignment together. It's not okay to have someone else do any part of it and then copy it and turn it in as your own. Make sure you follow all written and/or verbal instructions given by your instructor for exams and assignments. You're responsible for knowing these and understanding these. Ensure you know what resources are or are not allowed and ask clarifying questions if you have any. It's tempting to just skim over the directions so you can just get to the assignment or exam, but don't do that. Take your time to fully read and understand all directions before starting. Additionally, read the syllabus and understand all course requirements for your particular course. At the end of the day, maintaining integrity is more important than any grade you may receive. And by following these steps given in understanding that you are not alone, you can be successful. You got this.